Do you always look down at the keys when you're playing piano? Do you want to learn how to play without looking down at your hands so that you can sight read more fluently? Then keep watching this video where I give you 7 tips to play without looking down. And stay tuned until the end of the video where I show you exercises you can do at home. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Manu from Piano Sight Reading, where I give sight reading tips to pianists. Now, this video is probably one of the most important videos to watch, because if there's one tip I should give you for sight reading, it's this one. Avoid looking at your hands. Why do I say this? Well, because with sight reading, you have to keep your eyes on your music as often as possible. Because to keep the flow of the music going, you have to keep reading ahead. And if your eyes are constantly going back and forth between the score and your hands, you're going to find it very hard to read ahead, and you might even lose your spot. So one of the most useful skills to have to be a good sight reader is to play without looking at the keys. But don't despair, because it is possible to play without looking down, and I'm going to give you tips on how to do that. The first tip is to always sit in the same position at the piano. So when you sit at the piano, make sure you sit in the middle of the piano in front of middle C, so that you can reach both ends of the piano easily. And make sure you're always sitting at the same distance away from the piano and at the same height. So always adjust your stool if you need to. Sitting at the same position will allow your body to learn the distance between the keys and across the keyboard. So make sure you always check your position before you start playing. The second tip is to practice everything without looking down. So practice your scales, your arpeggios, your pieces, your exercises, regardless of whether you're playing from memory or from the score. Try to always play without looking down as much as possible. And as you play, try to visualize the layout of the keys. Try to imagine the white and the black keys. And the better you can visualize the layout, the easier it will be for you to play without looking down. My third tip is to use the black keys to guide you. The black keys on the piano are there for a reason. They're there to help you find your way around the keys. So use them to your advantage. For example, you should be able to find the notes C, D and E when you find 2 black keys. So here I've got the 2 black keys, and you should be able to find C, D and E. And the same thing if you have the 3 black keys, you should be able to find F, G, A, B. So what you can do is test yourself, pick a random note. So for example, D will be next to 2 black keys, so find the 2 black keys and then play the D. Or find an A, so now you need the 3 black keys, and then you've got your A here. So try this with both hands. The fourth tip is to know your accidentals. So whenever you see a sharp or a flat before a note, you should immediately know which key to press. For example, if it's C sharp, you should know it's right here, next to the C. And bear in mind that each black note can be written in 2 different ways. So C sharp can also be D flat. And the same with D sharp can be E flat, etc. And remember that between E and F and B and C, there are no black keys. So that means E sharp will be the same as F, F flat is the same as E, and then B sharp is the same as C, and C flat is the same as B. So make sure that in your head all of that is very clear. Another thing that can help you find your way around the keys is to know your intervals. So try to know how they sound and how they feel. Just by feel, you should be able to find any interval, at least within an octave. So for example, if I were to find a fifth, fifth here. Or if I do a third, or a fourth. So what you can do is test yourself. Just think of an interval and then try to play it by feel. And you can check afterwards to see if you got it right. Tip number 6 is to develop your ear. One of the reasons why pianists look down at their hands when they play is to check whether they played the right notes. So instead of checking, try to use your ears instead to tell you whether you played the right note. When looking at a score, a useful skill to have is to be able to know what it's going to sound like. That's called audiation. You can develop this skill through ear training or sight singing or solfège. Beware that it's something that takes a long time to develop. My last tip is to work on your leaps. Often when we look down, it's because there are leaps. We want to make sure we get the right notes. But there are actually ways to play leaps without looking down. And this is something I talk about in this article here. You can find a link in the description below. To go along with the article, I've made a booklet called Master Your Left Hand Leaps, and it includes the tips of the articles. It has specific exercises, practice tips, recommended music, and around 80 pages of pieces where you have left hand leaps. To help you apply all the tips I've given you in this lesson, I've made a whole set of exercises that you can do at home. Let me show you one of those exercises. I'll do it with my right hand because you won't be able to see my left hand. The idea is to play all the treble C's with your thumb, and with fingers 2 and 3, feel the 2 black keys, and then play the C with your thumb. Look straight in front of you, and you start with middle C. Okay, next 2 black keys. Okay, and then you go back down. I've made 13 pages of exercises like this to help you find your way around the keys. You can download these for free, and you'll find the link in the description below. Thanks for watching today's video. I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, drop them down below. If you like this video, then please hit the like button and share it with your fellow musicians. And if you want to see more videos like this, then don't forget to subscribe. Happy sight reading!